Hello Lakeside, my name is Evan Meyers.
And my name is Carson Burnham.
And welcome back to the 4th episode of Ram Review.
Remember, girls wrestling is now open through the month of September. Contact coaches Burchard, Bradley, or Ballard for more details.
Senior High Art Club signups are now on all of the art teachers' doors. First meeting will be held Wednesday, September 11th at the first lunch.
Remember, letters have been mailed home to qualifying juniors for the Lakeside High School Beta Club. For more details, visit Ms. Shammel's room before Monday, September 16th.
How much do we really know about one of America's most defining moments? Let's find out with this next segment.
Good morning, America. I'm Charles Gibson.
I'm Diane Sawyer, and it's Tuesday, September 11th, 2001.
It is lunchtime in London, 5 a.m. in Los Angeles, and 8 a.m. here in New York, live from the CNN Financial News headquarters.
It is beautiful outside, perfect September day with lots of sunshine. Oh, would you look at Washington, huh?
Students in our school today fail to grasp the significance of September 11th and the impact it had and still continues to have on our world today.
9/11 was in 2001 and it affected the World Trade Center.
A bunch of planes got hijacked and they hit a bunch of different stuff.
There was planes and one crashed at the Pentagon. Some crashed at the World Trade Center.
Planes got overtaken and then one crashed into the Pentagon and then a couple of others crashed into the towers.
Someone took over the planes and rerouted the course and they crashed into the Twin Towers.
It was like a Tuesday morning. It was sun shining, just like a day like every other one, just a very normal day. And the TV happened to be playing. I was at home at the time, and the news interrupted the television programming, and they talked about this plane flying into the building, one of the World Trade Towers.
It was my first year to teach, and I was teaching American history, and somebody came by the classroom, I think an administrator, and said, "Turn your TV on." And at that point, we had these little TVs mounted on the wall, and as soon as I turned it on, I saw a plane crash into the building. I didn't know at the time that was the second plane crashing into the second building, and at that point, nobody really knew what was going on.
So we had built up this reputation and nothing could happen to us. And then during 9/11, we got to see that we were vulnerable.
Number 2.
Yeah. This just in, you were looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center.
La espera de mayores informaciones, saber qué fue lo que ocurrió, cómo fue que
Apparently a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center in New York.
It does not appear that there's any kind of an effort up there yet. Now remember, oh my God.
Oh my God.
That looks like a second plane.
I did not see a plane go in. That just exploded.
We just saw another plane coming in from the side.
You did. That was out of absolute.
Yes, and that's the second explosion. You could see the plane come in just from the right-hand side of the screen. So this looks like it is some sort of a concerted effort to attack the World Trade Center that is underway.
I've never seen anything like it. It literally blew itself into World Trade Center.
Surely this is an accident, so I began watching the news. And as I was watching the news, the second plane hit the second building, and at that point I realized there's something serious going on here.
Because everybody was kind of panicking because we assumed we were going to war. And once again, we didn't know what we know now. We didn't know it was an isolated terrorist attack by Al-Qaeda. We didn't know, we thought it could be sponsored, like another government coming at us from the Middle East. But it was kind of a scary thing because we had just went through such a time of relative peace when you think about the 90s. And, we just had a new president. George W. Bush was just elected a few months earlier. So this really did kind of come out of the blue. I mean, it really, no one expected this, and it changed the world.
Oh, it was just a pronounced feeling of anger, sadness. We experienced loss. I was actually overcome by an emotion that I didn't expect. I was really thinking about the people that not only were in the building, but also overseas.
Today we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
and the Pentagon is being evacuated. There is a large fire there, and that is the smoke you see in the shot that you are looking at now.
It appears that an aircraft of some sort did hit the side of the Pentagon.
It's a very haunting description that Bob Kerr just gave of that low-flying aircraft near the White House, and one can only wonder if that was something that ultimately ended up in the Pentagon.
We just saw.
We're under attack. It was a day, again, just people were going to work just like any other average day, and by 10 o'clock, the planes had hit. I watched the buildings crumble and fall, watched the people running down the streets. The news commentators could not believe what was going on. Everyone was just taken aback. It was a very surreal experience. It was something almost like in a movie, something that couldn't be real, but it was. And it changed us forever. It changed the way we viewed life forever.
These kind of attacks. There had been a few smaller terrorist attacks. We had the Oklahoma bombing, you had school shootings in the 90s, but something of this scale had never been done. You know, in history, usually you think of a big threat as another government. And then this happened, and it made you realize that a small group of people from thousands of miles away could do a horrible damage. And of course, this is when the government started passing the Patriot Act, a lot of limits on our freedoms, airport security. Especially for the 2 or 3 years afterwards, it was really strange. It was all the restrictions, and I think we've kind of walked some of that back now. But at the time, and I'll tell you the biggest difference, flags, patriotism. From September 11, 2001, for that next year, I think the selling of flags went up 1,000%. You didn't really have a divide in this country. And people forget that George W. Bush, some of the stuff the measures that he did, like the Patriot Act, there was only one congressman against that. You talk about unity, and I know in this day and age when everything is so divided, we can't remember that. But everybody was kind of on the same page, and everybody supported our president, which is odd to see Republicans and Democrats coming together. It didn't even matter.
Only one tower is standing. The other has collapsed.
Thanks very much. Completely collapsed.
The whole side has collapsed?
The whole building has collapsed.
The whole building has collapsed?
The building has collapsed.
Heard a big bang, and then we saw smoke coming out, and everybody started running out, and we saw the plane on the other side of the building, and there was smoke everywhere, and people are jumping out the windows.
There are people who just don't understand what it means to be protected. They don't understand what it means if we didn't have a military, a strong military presence, not only here but in parts of the world. It's upsetting for a lot of people, for me and a lot of other veterans, especially when you think about some of the things that happened during the national anthem in times like that, and disrespecting our flag in that time. I joined so that we would have an opportunity to be free.
Limits on us, and then this unity that came out of nowhere. And of course, over time it faded away, but yeah, for a year or two, everybody was on the same page.
I'm going to interrupt you, Senator McCain. These are the first pictures we have in. This is from Somerset County, Pennsylvania. This is where the United Airlines flight, I believe it is 176, went down.
But we don't need to forget those people that entered those buildings. It wasn't just adults, there were kids that were killed. There were people of all faiths and backgrounds that were killed. Americans lost their lives, over 3,000 that day. And we don't ever need to forget that. We don't ever need to forget them and the sacrifices that our fire department, our police department made.
It's important that not only we look at the pictures, but especially with 9/11, we have videos. We have people making cell phone calls the day of, in the towers. Going and visiting the memorial now that is put up in New York. I think it's important that we teach kids the importance of 9/11, but not only the importance of 9/11 and remembering that day, but why it happened.
Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward, and freedom will be defended.
The FCCLA membership dues are $15. The first couple students that sign up will get a free Galaxy gift. For more information, visit their Instagram at Lakeside FCCLA.
The Ace Club and Partners Club are still accepting new members. If this sounds interesting to you, swing by Mrs. Silga's class in room 310 for more details.
The fishing club is still accepting new members. If you're a true aficionado, then this is definitely the club for you. They're hosting a kickoff Tuesday, September 10th at 6 p.m. For more information, visit one of the posters located around the campus.
The Senior High Quiz Bowl team still needs new competitors. If this sounds interesting to you, stop by Mr. Balcom's room for more sign-up details.
Carson, have you ever wanted to know how to bake a cake?
But I do know how to bake a cake, Evan.
That's too bad. We're about to find out with this next segment.
It's really good. Oh my god. Did Gordon Ramsay make this or what?
Looks almost good enough to eat. Almost.
Remember, Mr. Pumphrey is taking a group of students this spring break to Spain and Portugal. If this is something you might be interested in, then make sure to contact him.
Yearbooks are already on sale. Purchase now and receive $20 off and up to 4 free personalized icons.
Senior high PSAT exams are going to be held Wednesday, September 16th. If this is something you might be interested in, then make sure to visit the counselor's page.
Congratulations to Lake Hamilton for winning the rivalry game, and good effort on the part of our team here at Lakeside High School.
Funding for this broadcast was brought to you by Relyance Bank. Thank you all for watching. My name is Evan Meyers.
And my name is Carson Burnham.
And we'll see you next time on the Ram Review.